very good presentation you just gave at this forum today. I would say compliments of that. We just want to get from you, sir, what are some of the advice or encouragement you're going to give to the stakeholders and key players in the Nigerian capital market as to restoring confidence in this said market?
Okay, just very briefly, two comments. And first and foremost is the fact that let us not forget there's a huge responsibility on the Nigerian stock exchange because they are the representative, the forefront of the whole sub-Saharan market. So I always stress that for the outside world, for frontier market investors, it is the first stop where people see how is Nigeria doing, and then it's basically the benchmark for everything else in sub-Saharan Africa, which is fundamental. In terms of your question, just to let you know, is that the steps have already been taken. It's a matter of just implementing them and making sure this takes place. As we discussed today, absolutely to improve liquidity would be great to have a form of market making in the market, but beyond that is the fact that you have to have a balance of incentives and regulation to make sure that there is improvement in process.
Currently, there are certain loopholes in this market. What are some of the loopholes that you see, and what are the preferable solutions?
Yeah, I mean, loopholes is a bit of a complicated matter. What I would say is that at the moment, some of the barriers are there's potentially too many stockbrokers on the market, not enough consolidation on the sales side, but also not enough big size stocks on the market that will provide this further interest. So not correctly loopholes, but more like barriers to actually get more business going, and this was the real hurdles are.
Earlier, you gave an assessment of, or you gave a take rather on technology in a capital market like this. Well, now, what's your take? And based on the fact that the market, the Nigerian capital market (NSE), is coming up, I think the following week after this with Nasdaq OMS platform. What's your take on all of this generally? And just give us some expectations, you know.
Of course, I mean, first and foremost, excitement. That's the simple answer. In fact, when I just heard the news today during the presentation here, the debate, I was very, very happy. Why, however, are they moving towards here, and what is important is because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is very simple, but it's hard to reach, which is transparency. And in order to get that, technology needs to be sophisticated. It needs to be to the level and competing with the other frontier markets around the world. But also what's fundamental is the fact that data needs to be accessible. And today, more than the speakers, more than the brokers, more than people in my role, they need to have access to data in the highest technology possible. And that's why I was extremely happy. It is a clear change with the new, let's say, team within the new the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Yeah.
Currently, there are market makers, and what's your view of this? Do you really see it bringing about liquidity in the Nigerian capital market?
No, I think the gentleman from FBA and Capital, Kayode, was completely right. The improvement is clear. However, the implementation of having these market makers is fundamental. What I'm trying to say is that the bigger banks that are able to support this through the help also, of course, of the regulation, they are the fundamental, I would say, the ones that keep the key to making this happen. So I would say pointing towards the three biggest banks and being able to act as market makers is fundamental.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you, sir.